The opinions and views expressed on this program do not reflect those of the management or staff of Community Media of Staten Island.
Hello and welcome to RUMC Vital Signs. I'm Alex Lutz. On our show, you will meet the fantastic people who make Richmond University Medical Center thrive. RUMC is an award-winning full-service hospital located right here on Staten Island at 355 Bard Avenue. To learn more about the full array of services provided at RUMC, visit rumcsi.org. Licensed by the New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports, RUMC's Silberstein Clinic is Staten Island's trusted source for substance use and addiction treatment programs. The Silberstein Clinic offers a variety of comprehensive and effective treatment options to help people on their road to recovery. On this episode of Vital Signs, we're going to talk about two very different and unique treatment programs available at the clinic that are producing some very positive results. My first guest is Cassandra Sia, a licensed acupuncturist who owns her own private practice here on Staten Island and who just recently joined the RUMC staff. She's also board certified by the National Certification Commission for Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. Welcome to the RUMC family and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Let's start basically by saying, what exactly is acupuncture?
So acupuncture in a nutshell is a form of Chinese medicine where we use really fine, hair-thin needles and we plug them into different acupoints along meridians on the body. And the intention of acupuncture is really to stimulate the body's natural healing abilities. I always tell my patients, like, your body knows what to do, it just forgets sometimes. And acupuncture is a good way to remind it kind of how it works again.
And there's I'll say a strategy to the placement of...
Yeah, so there's different, again, meridians in the body that have a bunch of different points. There's over 300 points in the body that we have to learn as acupuncturists. And they all have different functions. Some of them have multiple functions. And acupuncture is great at treating a lot of different ailments. So we can treat anything from pain management to GI issues, to fertility issues, and addiction, which is what we're treating over at Silberstein.
And do you find when it comes to acupuncture, are people coming in, they're being referred for acupuncture, or they're coming in on their own because they're seeking it as a different form of medicine treatment?
So for Silberstein, they're coming in because their counselors suggest it, and then they want to heal, and they're looking to be better, and they're trying to do everything that they can, right? Over at my private practice, it's mostly because sometimes it's their last resort, because they don't know any better. So the internet is big with that.
So to treat people with addiction, you're utilizing something called the NADA protocol.
Yes.
What exactly is that?
So the NADA protocol uses basically the ear, so it's called auricular acupuncture. So the needles are all going into the ear for it.
So just the ear, nowhere else?
Mainly for addiction, we're doing just the ear. When they keep coming, if there are other things that they want to come in for, neck pain, shoulder pain, anything that I can reach, like easily, because they are in zero gravity chairs, not on like a massage table.
Okay.
So anything that, like, without having to move too much clothing or anything like that. But with the NADA protocol, we are mainly focusing on auricular acupuncture. And so there's 5 points in the ear, which individually are great at doing what they do, but scientifically proven together to minimize cravings, withdrawal symptoms, anxiety and stress, and helping with sleep, things like that.
Why the zero gravity chairs?
Just comfortable.
Comfortable? Okay.
Just to give them a nice feel, make it different from the other groups that they're coming in for, and give them the full effect of being able to relax themselves and relax their minds.
Okay. So you mentioned 5 points. Can you walk us through each of the points and the benefits of each?
Yeah. Okay. So there's, again, the 5 points. So there's an ear shen men point, there's a sympathetic point, and then there's a kidney, liver, and lung point. Now with Chinese medicine, anytime we mention organs in the body or something that you're familiar with as an organ in your body, most of the time we're talking about it energetically, and then a small portion of the time we're talking about the actual organ function.
Okay.
So like ear shen men, we don't have an ear shen men in the body. So ear shen men is great for reducing anxiety and stress, also helps with sleep issues. A lot of the patients come in and don't initially mention that they have the sleep issues until I bring up that it is something that we can help. And so that's a great point to kind of encompass the anxiety and stress as well as the sleep. The sympathetic point also gets to the stress and the anxiety of it all, and to calm your nervous system in that way. And then the points that, sound like different organs in your body, because they do affect organs in your body, like the kidney point. So it supports kidney function, for one, but also energetically strengthens what's called the will in Chinese medicine.
Okay.
And whether that be the will to stop using, the will to live, the will to do anything, strengthens that in you to overcome fear and trauma and things like that. And then we have the liver point. So the liver point is great at detoxing the body, detoxing of substances, detoxing your blood. Energetically also helps with anger and frustrations, because sometimes that's something that comes after the withdrawal symptoms or comes with the addiction, is some anger and frustration. So it's good to calm that down.
Sure.
And lastly, the lung point. So it helps with the respiratory system to help you harness deeper breathing. When we are stressed, when we're anxious, we shallow breathe. And so in using that point, it helps them kind of harness a deeper breath, and then they relax. Yeah.
Okay. And so all this is connected through the ear?
Yeah, all through the ear. The ear is its own little microsystem.
Okay.
And there are plenty of different points in the ear, but again, the 5 that we use, again, great individually, but as a collective, they do really great for addiction recovery.
And then maybe this is a silly question, but does it matter which ear?
So I use both.
Okay.
Usually I'll do both, so 5 points in each ear.
Okay. So 10 needles total.
10 needles total at most for the ear. Some days, depending on if I want them to just relax more, or, it's very tailored to the individual. Like, even though it's a protocol that's used over and over again, I try to tailor it to them. And so sometimes I will still get all 5 points, but I'll do like 3 in one ear, 2 in the other. That way it's not as overwhelming, because the ear, again, is its own microsystem. It's very powerful. And we can see that in the results of like how it is helping our patients with the addiction. And
That's actually my next question, is what are the benefits that you're seeing in the patients who go through this procedure?
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of them don't realize that it can help with their sleep, so they don't bring it up at first. And then they come back the next time and they're like, I had the best sleep of my life and I don't understand why. Is it the acupuncture? And I'm like, yes, actually. Because even though they're coming in and we're treating the anxiety or withdrawal symptoms or anything like that, because the points are multifunctional, we're kind of getting the body as a whole, which is pretty much what acupuncture does, is treat the body as a whole. But yeah, so I'm getting a lot of return patients, and a lot of them, it's actually kind of funny, because they come in and they're surprised at how good they feel.
Right.
Because I guess they've never felt that relaxed before, or they've never felt their anxiety go down that quickly. So yeah, we're getting really good results over at Silverstein.
And are these like after one session, people experiencing these benefits?
So sometimes that's how it goes, and sometimes it's not. So everybody's different, and every body is different. So, and everybody's at a different point in their journey. So it really depends on where they're at that, like, in that sense. And so some people need more than the one. Some people want more than the one because they felt so good they'll come back. And some people, yeah, they need more than that because they're just so far along in what they're doing. And then, like I said, I have a patient who came in and she's like, I slept so well last night. Like, I don't understand it.
Wow. So how long is the session?
So after intake, once the needles go in, which takes me anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes, the needles stay in for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. And they're just laying in the zero gravity chairs for 30 minutes?
So the chairs go back a little bit. They're able to close their eyes. We play nice music, shut the lights off. And they have
Sounds
a nice
relaxing already.
Exactly, yeah. And the chairs play a big part. They, because if they're just sitting up in a chair like this, it's not as relaxing for them. So yeah, so it's about 20 to 30 minutes there like that. And then we do take the needles out, and then I put in ear seeds, which kind of elongates the session, something that they can take home with them.
What are the ear seeds?
So ear seeds They're little vicarious seeds, they're called. They're tiny, tiny little seeds on what looks like a Band-Aid.
Okay.
And so we insert them on some of the same points that we did the needles in.
Okay.
I usually only do 2, maybe 3 in each ear for them to come home with, because 1, sometimes they don't use them, and 2, like, it would be a little too overwhelming to have all of them. And so what they do is they can activate those points, and I show them how. They can either pinch them or they do circular motions onto them. And they can activate those points anytime they're feeling anxious or frustrated.
Would you place the actual ear seed
So
on?
I put them on, they go home with it. They can stay on for anywhere from 3 to 5, sometimes 7 days. Sometimes the patient comes back next week and they still have them in. You can shower with them, all that stuff. But it's nice because, again, it kind of gives them a lasting treatment where they can go home and I'm not there to needle them when they're anxious. They can kind of activate the point and then they'll feel good.
This is not a treatment that I think most people would think would help with addiction. So I'm curious,
Right.
do you encounter in patients that you're seeing a sense of kind of reluctance, a sense of kind of like, this is not going to work for me, and then...
Yeah. So with that, again, their counselors are usually the ones that are going to recommend them to the acupuncture, and a lot of the time I'll walk in with the counselors to their groups and introduce myself and tell them about it and say that we do have these services that you can use. And if I look around the room and there's 10 people, probably half of them are like, that's interesting, and half of them are like, okay. Because, you know, if you don't know what you're getting into, that's where they're unfamiliar with it. So the more we educate them, the more that they feel good. And also within the groups, they talk to each other. So they're like, oh, I've been going for weeks and I love it. And so then they're like, I want to come now. They'll come to the
So
group.
it's like a built-in support group.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is obviously not a service someone can walk in off the door, off the street and say, hey, I'd like to try this. So this is a referral from someone who's going through addiction counseling at Silberstein Clinic. They hear of the option of this. Is that how you enroll in this program?
To see to come in for the acupuncture?
Yes.
Yeah, so they do need to be part of our building, whether that be with us at Silberstein. I do get referrals from downstairs, St. George Clinic. We have the CYA program, this young adults program. So we all connect that way, but they do need to be part of that program first, so that they can be assessed to make sure that they're ready for the acupuncture.
So I mentioned at the early beginning of the program that you're relatively new to the RUMC. This program is relatively new. You started when?
In June, actually, yeah.
And how many patients are you seeing now?
So it started slow. It was, we had to build up, and now this month I'm already at about 30 cases for this month, yeah. So it's building up really, really well. I signed up like 10 new patients this week for the rest of the month and for the beginning of September. And that's thanks to the counselors of, all over our building. They're very good at giving all of us referrals.
Well, yeah, as I said, it's a very unique and interesting approach to addiction treatment. I'm glad people are receptive to it. The more people that can get help to overcome their addictions, the better. But thank you for joining the RUMC family and bringing this service to so many people that probably would never have known this could be a door to helping them in their recovery efforts.
Right, and the biggest thing for them is it's not accessible for them sometimes. Like some insurances don't cover it, and sometimes it's expensive. So for them, a lot of it is they're able to already be here at Silberstein and also get the services that they've never thought that they could get.
Great. So I want to thank you for coming on the show and for all that you're doing to help people on their road to recovery. We'll share how you can contact Cassandra at the Silberstein Clinic at the conclusion of our show. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll learn how the therapeutic power of yoga is also being used to help people emerge from the darkness of addiction.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hello, we're back on RUMC Vital Signs. For many people, yoga has been an effective way to manage stress, improve strength and flexibility, and improve mental focus. We're now joined by yoga instructor Linda Colon. Linda has been practicing Hatha Yoga for over 20 years and is certified with Yoga Alliance, the largest nonprofit association of yoga professionals, practitioners, and advocates across the world. Welcome to the show, Linda.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So when did you, as someone who's done yoga for so long, make kind of the connection that yoga could help people who were struggling with addiction?
Well, for me, I always suffered from anxiety. You know, growing up, I had difficulty sleeping, and I tried yoga. In 1994, I took my first yoga class, and it was just life-changing. I just realized, wow, if I just spend some time being present in my mind, not in the past and not in the future, it just felt so good, and I couldn't wait to continue. So, and I just felt that can translate to help so many things and so many people.
So yoga helped you before you were helping other people.
Absolutely.
That's how you kind of got your interest into yoga?
Yes, yes.
And you practice a form of yoga known as Hatha Yoga, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes.
What is Hatha Yoga?
So Ha is sun and Tha is moon, and so really it's really the balance. And we call it, in Hatha, it's the balance of steadiness and ease, of effort and strength. And what it is, it's really coming to a place where you're really at perfect balance. So, you know, there are many different types of yoga, but in Hatha Yoga, a lot of it really, it's about the physical postures are really used so that we can sit in stillness for long periods of time. That's why Hatha Yoga was, you know, invented thousands of years ago, so that people can sit in stillness comfortably. So that's really what it's all about.
So it sounds like Hatha is, I mean, when people think of yoga, they think of the stretching and downward dog. You know,
Yes.
Hatha is more stationary.
Well, no, that's part of it, the downward, all of the physical are part of it, but then also we have meditation and we have breathing. So the classes would start with some breathing practices. And the breathing practices are so important because what it does is it stimulates the vagus nerve, so that helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system to relax the body. So the more we practice breathing in a yoga class, the more we're going to be aware of our breath when we're driving or we're doing anything else. It's like, oh, well, you know, if I just stop and notice my breathing, I can be more relaxed. And so that's kind of the idea, is that we can self-regulate.
Yeah. So in the first part of the show, we talked about acupuncture and the Nada protocol, which had 5 points, and Hatha also has 5 points. Could you kind of walk us through those and their benefits?
Absolutely. So the 5 points of yoga are rest, exercise, meditation or positive thinking, pranayama breathing, and nutrition. So, you know, rest, of course, is very important. And as a retired middle school teacher, I can tell you, if I interview 30 students and ask them how many slept at least 6 hours, maybe two students would raise their hand because they're on their phone all night. So that's so important, right, to sleep and rest. And a lot of us, you know, I feel don't get, and I'm seeing that, and I've seen that with clients as well, that they don't get the rest. So we practice yoga nidra, which is a guided relaxation. So basically you're sitting still, you're lying still, eyes closed, and we guide you through the different parts of the body. And while we're doing that, the brain just makes this connection of awareness, so you're automatically relaxing because you're not thinking about the disturbing thoughts and the things that keep us up at night. So a lot of my clients will take that with them. So at night when they have, I know myself, there are nights when I use it, you know, to help me fall asleep. So that's rest. And exercise is every day. I mean, of course, I practice yoga every day, but I run, I jog, I bike ride. I love to be physical. It's so important for people to be physically active. And there's so many ways to do it, and to do what you like, what you enjoy. And being out in nature is just amazing. Like, you know, I just love being in, and we have clients too that they really appreciate that, being in nature. The pranayama, the breathing, like I said, very important to practice it so that we have self-awareness of our breathing. Nutrition, it's important to try to stay away from processed foods, to try to eat, you know, fresh fruits and vegetables, and, you know, healthy fats and all of those good things, to eat a healthy breakfast. and drink enough water during the day, and then lastly, meditation. So even just practicing, 3 minutes a day, just to try to quiet my mind. And if thoughts are going to come, but just to give yourself that time to develop a practice and patience, because it took me a really long time to meditate. It took me months to sit and but I would just sit for 5 minutes, and I said, I'm not moving for 5 minutes, but it's regularity of time, place, location, and doing the same thing every day, just like developing any habit. So those are the 5.
So from the points that you made, like eating and exercise, unlike the acupuncture sessions, this is something that you're doing at Silberstein Clinic, but then the clients are doing on their own elsewhere.
We're hoping, and that's what we encourage, and that's, and it's like nothing's perfect, and we always say that, like, I'm not perfect, I'm far from it, but it's like progress, Like I always feel like, just doing something a little bit better today, or to make myself feel from quality of life, to help our quality of life.
And and you also have recently joined the RUMC family.
Yes, yes.
How many clients are you seeing right now?
Well, I really just started in July, so we have small groups. So I'm doing like 6 to eventually 7 groups a week, and in those groups I have anywhere from like 1 to 4 people. But I'm trying to build that. Because it's important, in yoga we call it sangha, which is to build like a community. And when people are doing, positive things together, like anything, like a bike club or anything positive together, it's just that beautiful, and that's in yoga, it's the same thing. That's why we want to practice yoga in a group rather than a private practice.
So you started in July, but you've already got all these groups with so many people in. So it sounds like most people are receptive to the idea of trying yoga to help them.
Well, ideally, we're going to be growing that. Like some groups, I might have, like today, I only had 1 person, and she's going to be coming back, and then I have 2 people next week. So we're slowly growing it, but that's the intent, is to build them, to have like nice small groups that we can grow. Yeah.
And are you already starting to see the benefits with some of the people you're working with?
I see a benefit after, honestly, after the first session, I see people smiling and saying, well, how do you feel? I feel good, I feel pleasant, and to me, to take that, for them to walk away and, give me a big smile and say, I'll see you next week, it's very rewarding. Right. Yeah.
And it sounds like because there are elements of Hatha that the person is in control of, there's almost this they're in control of their own recovery to an extent, I'll say.
Exactly.
And how well they benefit, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's empowering. It's very empowering. Yes, absolutely.
And again, very similar to the acupuncture program we're running now. This is not something that someone can just come into, so you're getting referrals from...
Yes, yes.
And are they coming in with a sense of curiosity, like, how is this going to help me? I don't understand this.
It's interesting. So we have at Silberstein in the clinic, we have the posted of the yoga classes. And like everyone's heard of yoga, not everyone's done it, but everyone's, oh, yoga, yeah, I want to try it, I want to try it, that kind of thing. So, that's kind of how it seems to be, reaching people, so.
So when you do the meditation, are you meditating with them? Are you giving them guidance, or is this something they're really doing on their own in silence, or is it?
I'm right now, because I feel that, meditation it's kind of a tough thing. Like, I feel it's easier to meditate doing yoga nidra, for example, like it's a relaxation meditation. And then once people get comfortable doing that, then I kind of, step it up to a different type of a meditation. But right now, I'm using like a guide, that as a kind of a guide to use the different parts of the body that you're relaxing, and it's a safe thing, because when it's kind of a personal practice. And then also I want to encourage people to create their own meditation practice. So I have a handout with how to create your own with a journal on the back. So like for 2 weeks, just sit the same place, same time for 3 minutes, just sit and inhale a positive word and exhale a positive word. For example, inhale peace, exhale love, and just sit there for 3 minutes and do that.
But a word of their choosing.
Yes, exactly, a word of their choosing. And then how do you feel in one word? Before you practice, when you practiced, where you practiced, and how do you feel in one word after you've practiced. So, and to do that over 2 weeks so that, for them to kind of self-assess and see how it's helping.
Seems like the word repetition seems to be.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Creating habits, good habits.
And so how do you enroll in your program at
So
Silverstein?
the same as Cassandra's practice, it's through Silverstein, and they'll usually get referrals through the therapist, and they send me an email, or I'll see them in the lobby, and they'll sign me up for Wednesday, and that's kind of how we've been doing it.
And are you seeing clients of all different ages? And
Right now, it's pretty, it's adults, but I'm very interested to start working with adolescents because I feel that that's where I have most of my experience being a retired teacher, and I really feel to get that population now, it would be really helpful. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, addiction doesn't have an age. It's affecting so many people. It is an issue out here in Staten Island and other areas, but it's nice to know that we have a program like this, and getting out in nature as the borough parks. We have plenty of space for people to utilize to do that. Do you take people out to some of the parks? Like, do you do, I'll say, trips?
I would love to. Not yet, but maybe. The beautiful thing is our space is so lovely because we have windows looking out on green, and we just see green. So it's just lovely. Just the space where we are, the location. It's a beautiful space on South Avenue. So we're definitely utilizing that. So.
Well, welcome to the RUMC family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for what you're doing, and thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
If you'd like to schedule an appointment with our acupuncturist Cassandra Sia, who appeared earlier in the show, or Linda for yoga therapy, you can call our Silverstein Clinic at 718-818-6970. The Silverstein Clinic is located inside our Center for Integrative Behavioral Medicine at 1130 South Avenue in the Graniteville section of Staten Island. Richmond University Medical Center has cared for Staten Island and the New York City metropolitan area for over 120 years. You can help ensure that care continues by making a financial contribution to the hospital. Donations can be made in your name, the name of a loved one, or to honor a special nurse or doctor at Richmond University Medical Center. To donate, visit our website at rumcsi.org and click on the Donate button located at the top of the home page, or you can call 718-818-2106. That just about does it for this episode of RUMC Vital Signs. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Lutz.